Shall we begin?
Gamer Gen Xer here. That's dramatic pause, right? Anyway, let's talk about Capcom Fighting Collection 2 and Plasma Sword, the Nightmare of Bilstein from the Dreamcast, being Star Wars weird. Yes, this is one of my favorite games from the Dreamcast, and I am so glad that a lot of you will be able to play this. The original game, Star Gladiator, came out on the PlayStation 1, and it was Capcom's kind of first attempt at doing a polygon fighter as far as weapon base. It's quite unique on that aspect. I did play it, I did enjoy it, but what's interesting is that they made a sequel, changed the name to Plasma Sword, and it was exclusively on the Dreamcast as Plasma Sword. And they've changed much more about it than the first one. First, all the ring outs are gone and all of those things that were in the first one. Now, when it comes to this game, a lot of other people compare it to another game, Soul Blade or Soul Edge, Star Gladiator 1, because they had ring outs. They were both weapon-based fighters. Star Gladiator didn't do so well because Soul Blade and eventually Soul Calibur, better graphics, right? But even still, it did gain a lot of success. Now, here's the interesting thing. This could have been a Star Wars fighter. That is the rumor. Capcom pitched it to Lucasfilm or LucasArts or what have you, and they had to make some tweaks and changes, but here's the roster, and I'll get into the whole Star Wars connection further. But I want to tell you, the roster is not as big as it appears. I will tell you up front that there's a lot of clone characters, and they fight a little differently. Their supers are a little different, but overall the same basic play style for each one, minus some design changes. So that might be a little bit of a misnomer, having a huge cast, because they are literally clone characters with just different special moves. So I will tell you that. All right, let's get into the Star Wars connection. There's Chewbacca and there's Gammoff, both big characters. Then you have Gore, kind of like a wizard, and Yoda. You see the resemblance. Like I said, they had to change the format later on. Then you got Lando Calrissian and Jarrell, both the scoundrels, if you will. Then of course you got the vivacious, the lovely Leia, much more sexy outfit, combining with Chun-Li, and they decided to put those hair buns in a different style, if you're wondering where June came from in that sort of situation. Then we have Darth Vader and Ghost Bilstein or Bilstein. He is the original from Star Gladiator. The other version of him, which is in the game, is there. So you see the resemblance there. Then you've got Hayato and Luke Skywalker. The only real thing that connects them is kind of the lightsaber. Katana, lightsaber, that sort of thing. Young, impressionable character. So there you go. There's about 6 or 7 characters that were kind of based off of that, and then they reworked it and made it into Star Gladiator and then Plasma Sword. Even to this day, though, you still have people comparing Soul Calibur to, or rather, Plasma Sword to Soul Calibur, when I think it's actually Toshinden 3. Ballerina Toshinden 3. Much more similarity to anything dealing with Soul Calibur. Look at this roster. Same exact thing. It's not a big cast, but it has duplicates. Also, too, same thing that we were talking about before. Let's actually go back here and talk about that. See, you got, this is EG, that's his duplicate. This is her duplicate. This is his duplicate. And I'm going to show a battle between Duke and another character. But yeah, you've got all these duplicates of characters here. She's not a duplicate, though. You got the two robots and things like that. But here is two duplicates. It's Bill Stein versus Ghost Bill Stein. And he's actually one of my favorite characters. He is so powerful and just... you could just feel the weight of this character. And I just want you to see how they play. Ooh, devastating. You just feel the energy from that. Now, here is Toshinden 3. Here's Duke. He's the one in red. And Bulga is the one in green. He'll do his move like this. And then you'll see Duke get up and do the same move right there. And he connects with it. Whew. Vicious. Vicious. So yes, one reason why I would say Toshinden 3 too is that both are very arcadey, right? Another thing is that they have this thing called a soul bomb where they get extra attacks doing this. Some like that can shoot energy out. Some are 360. Plasma Sword also has the same thing. They call it a plasma field, and it looks something like this. There's the ring thrower, and it shows you a little meter of how long it is, and you can combo into it. Well, no, you can't combo into these because you'll see a burst of energy, and you can block it. There it is. It goes 360, and then you've got a time limit. And yes, you can block the entire attack. They're not invincible. So anyway, you see the connection, if you will, with Star Wars as well as Toshinden 3. So let's talk more about the control system, right? Well, first of all, there's this plasma parry that I want to show you. So check this out. There. You do that move and you will stop characters in their tracks and you can do what you want to do. Now I'm going to show you a game match between Hayato and Omega, which Omega is another version of Vector. And you can see all the different attacks here while I explain more about the game. Now, there are two buttons for attack. One button used for a kick, and the final button is used to do a inward or outward sidestep as well as dashes. So you're able to dash in this game. I'm going to show you combos later on that someone else made. It's not me. I'll probably do some gameplay in the future, but no, you actually can sidestep very fast in this game, much more so than in Soul Calibur. It's much more in the same way as Toshinden. It's a very fast sidestep. Also too in the game are what we've shown you, the plasma gauge, the plasma field, which, like I said, are closer to Toshinden and not Soul Calibur. So one of the things also too I really love about this game is the speed of it. It actually is way more arcadey and it's way more just fun. The game is just way more fun and it just plays like a Street Fighter game with a sidestep. And oh yes, if a character is down, you could even do it in combat and land on them. So here we go. Here are some combos. Here's Black Hayato, who has this super that Hayato does not have. See that right there? Hayato does not have that. So that's the difference. So, and then you're going to see here that's almost like King from Tekken. So these characters play very unique. I wanted to just show you real quickly just some combos of things you can do, the possibilities and the over the top craziness that is Plasma Sword. And this character is Rayon. He's like the Wolverine character, as you can see with his claws. He's like this beast, super fast. I think the actual fastest character in the game. Rayon. And then there's another one called Bakio. Now, as far as one of the great things is that in this collection is that you don't have to unlock that character, and there's another character with a mallet that I showed you earlier. If you have the Dreamcast version, you have to enter that code. Just devastating. I love Bilstein. That sword and his attacks are just so impactful. One of my favorite characters. There's Gamoth, the Chewbacca type of character with a plasma axe, which you're going to see one of his cool moves that you can just, like I said, link into. Much more arcadey, much more over the top, and it just equals fun. It's the tried and true Capcom formula. On a scale of 1 to 10, though, I would give this game a 7.5 out of 10. That's how much I enjoy the game. You saw Bilstein try to do his plasma field. Didn't work. But yeah, the game is much faster than you think. You can sidestep a lot of attacks, especially if you put it up on a higher difficulty level. And I just enjoy playing the game even single player. But now we're going to have the possibility, not the possibility, but we are going to be able to play it online. And like I was saying earlier, every time you wanted to play the secret characters, you would have to put in the code for the Dreamcast. So unfortunately, I think my Dreamcast version is not going to be as valuable. I'll still keep it. I do plan to get the physical version of this game. But yeah, the motion controls on this, I shouldn't say motion control, the directional controls. We're talking about fireball motions, quarter circle back, grab and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, this game is awesome. Plasma sword, the connection with the Star Wars, that's a bit of trivia, so you can tell other people out there you got this crazy cast of characters. And I'm just glad you guys are going to be able to play it. So anyway, thanks for listening. This is Gamer Gen Xer.